Hello, this is Faith at Faith and Books. I'm sorry about the light up there. I don't like that. But anyway, I'm going to do a quick video, a little bit of a book haul. It's children's books. I haven't been buying books for myself, except I've made two exceptions. Well, one was also for the little guy I'm watching. And then another one was because it was a group thing. But I haven't been buying. I've been sticking to the A Year of Reading One's Own for the most part. But I did splurge and buy a bunch of children's books for the little guy I'm watching. As I've mentioned before, his mother comes from Cote d'Ivoire in Africa. And, you know, I mean, we live right now in a time of a lot of racial tension and that sort of thing. So I don't want to get too into that. But this, they came into our lives 4 years ago, so this wasn't planned or anything like that. But he's just getting to the age where he's really starting to notice differences. And, and at the same time, there's all this racial tension and anger. And so it made me aware of our lack of diversity in our books. We have some, like, we have The Snowy Day, and Corduroy, the little girl Lisa. There is some diversity, but and maybe I have more than that I'm not thinking of. But what made me really think about deliberately going out and getting books was, once a month he gets a book from Simply Charlotte Mason, which is this subscription preschool program, and once a month you get a book. And this was a book, one month, I forget, it might have been July. Was it last one? Or maybe June. Anyway, it's a lovely book about a girl growing up in Jamaica, and she wants to learn to carry water on her head like her older siblings can. And it's a cute story. And to my little guy who's growing up in America, it was very exotic. Who would carry water on their head? It was really, and really nice illustrations. Really, fanciful. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. You gotta look at what Jamaica's like. Anyway, that made me think that I should try to get some books for him, especially as we're starting his pre-kindergarten year. He would have been at a pre-K at his preschool, but since that shut down because of COVID, he's at home. So I decided to splurge and buy him some books. So let's see. Oh, I'm missing one of them. Darn it, I'm missing one of them. I discovered this woman, Elizabeth Zunon. Can you see that? Elizabeth Zunon. And she actually was born in the United States, but she was raised in the Ivory Coast, same city that our border is from. And so she wrote this book about called Grandpa Cacao. Is that how you say that? And Cote d'Ivoire used to be the major producer of chocolate to the world. It was 45% of the chocolate industry. Ghana has just started to outstrip it just in recent years. And so she sort of is kind of a romanticized, sweet story about how she gets to meet her grandfather, who has a chocolate farm, a cacao farm. And cacao, how do you say that? Anyway, it's a little bit fanciful. The woman on our border who's from Ivory Coast said, it's not quite as accurate as she would have portrayed things. But anyway, but it's an interesting story, and at the end, she does talk about that much of chocolate that is harvested in Cote d'Ivoire uses like slave labor. And so she recommends buying fair trade if you want to make sure that your chocolate isn't tainted by child labor and slave labor. Buy fair trade. So that was an interesting book. Then she did another one. Oh, I might get up and go get it. For some reason I put it in a different place, but it's The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. And that's a really interesting, she just illustrated, she didn't write it. And that was the one that I had heard of before. So I got that one too. And then I also got this One Plastic Bag, Issa Tao Chise and the Recycling Women of the Gambia. And this is also illustrated by this same woman who's, I think her father is from Cote d'Ivoire. There she is. Her mother maybe not. Who she now lives in America again. But anyway, so this is another one that we might get around to reading this year. These are slightly above his attention level. Some I might wait till later in the year. And then I decided, somebody recommended this book to me. So that's another one that I bought. And it's sort of about, you know, how we're all one family. You know, I'm Catholic, so it's a Catholic book. And then I got a couple of books about Martin de Porres, who was a black saint from Peru. And there's two, I got two of them because I kind of have a thing for Martin de Porres. I've had a fondness for him for a few decades now. He's kind of like a St. Francis of Assisi character. And he had a special kinship with animals. He was very humble and kind. So this is a beautiful picture book about him. His feast day is, when is his feast day? November 3rd, maybe? And then this is another one. This is by, this woman has written other popular children's books. She wrote Grandfather Tang's Journey, I think, about a Japanese man immigrating to the United States. Anyway, the Pied Piper of Peru, because there's a story about him keeping the mice out of the corn by being kind to them and feeding them, so that they wouldn't get into the storehouse where the monastery was. So these are beautiful illustrations. So that's Martin de Porres. And then I found this. I hadn't really heard of this saint. I think I have just vaguely, but a saint and his lion, the story of Tekla of Ethiopia. And the artist here is from Kenya. So that's another, this will be interesting to read because I don't know this story at all. And then the last one, this book came out a few years ago. By a few, I mean maybe 10 years. And I really liked it because it just harkened back to my days in a parochial school, in our little Catholic school, and the nuns. But it's the story of a young girl who gets this wonderful teacher, but she's a woman of color, and she has to sort of, it begins to dawn on her that there's such a thing called race and that there's conflict. She doesn't quite know how to deal with it, and at the same time she's dealing with the fact that she has freckles and everyone makes fun of her freckles. And so it's a really sweet story. So that's the last one I got. The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. I won't go get it, but anyway, that's my little haul. Maybe I'll show that book in another video. That's my little picture book haul that I'm getting ready to. I'm not going to read them all at once to him. We'll just sprinkle it throughout the year. Some of them are a little bit above his, maybe not comprehension, maybe comprehension, but just there's a lot of words on the pages. He might not want to sit and listen for all of them. But anyway, I will sprinkle them throughout the year, this coming academic year. Anyway, so I have no idea if that was of any interest to anyone, but I just want to show off my new picture books. So talk to you later. Take care. Bye.